Hi, I'm John Kuhn. I'm the owner of Motoveyo Corporation. We are a company that specializes in modular material handling equipment. The company is built on my 22 years of experience in material handling with specific emphasis on motorized roller technology and implementation. I'm an inventor on 7 U.S. patents, several including this ball chain type transfer technology. So today we're here to talk about our eFlex transfer system, and this is a modular transfer system that's designed to sort a wide range of products from poly bags, sort cardboard boxes, smaller packages, lightweight packages, pretty much can handle a very wide range of products with one setup and one system. So this unit easily integrates with 24 volt DC conveyor, commonly referred to as MDR conveyor, or can be integrated with traditional driven belt conveyors. The beauty is in the modularity and the flexibility of this system. So the eFlex is 2 years in product development. The technology we'll be showing here today is patent pending. We filed for, we have patent applications in with U.S. Patent Office, and as well PCT application has been filed for international protection. So this particular machine, 24 volt based, it is run on demand, so all of the same benefits you might have or you do have with motorized roller technology are present here. Run on demand, safe, nowhere to get pinched. It's a low torque drive, quiet. So all of the same benefits you would have with motorized roller technology are also present in the eFlex transfer system. Additionally, no compressed air required. There's no lift as you would have on a normal pop-up transfer. There's no pneumatic lift or electric lift. So the basis of this is 2 drives, one to pull the ball chain, one to drive a synthetic fabric belt, if you will, that is underneath this bed of balls, which is a 1x1 array of spheres. We should really call them spheres, omnidirectional spheres. So this machine can bring things in, divert 90 degrees. So if I stop the blue chain and I run the belt underneath, I now achieve a 90-degree divert angle. If I run both, I get a vector, resultant vector. So this particular machine, we have 4 of these in our test and life cycle loop, and this exact size, this is 3 feet by, it's a 21-inch ball chain and a 3-foot long module. These are achieving a rate of just over 40 a minute, 40 and some change, in a full divert, stop and divert mode. So in other words, stop and full divert. It will achieve higher rates on a blow through to where you would be just looking for an on-the-fly vector divert. So on the construction, the whole machine, the machine itself is modular within a system, and then the components within the machine are also modular and reconfigurable. We start with a welded frame. This is 11 gauge laser cut steel with a 7 gauge butt coupling for rigidity and mounting. And that's all powder coated in any color you choose. We have this robust guarding. This yellow guard is over the fabric belt, drive, and idler. That keeps a very safe, finger-safe design. If the cover is to be left off, we've obviously shown this now without the cover, but if the controls cover is left off, there's not a pinch hazard here. And that guard is also structural to this upper rail, which is low friction. It's a Teflon impregnate hard coat anodized, 1/4 inch thick. It's easy if you needed to mount something to this or use this as a structural mount to mount the machine or tie something to the machine. It's fully compliant for that. You may be tying this to a conveyor, you may be tying this to a chute, you know, it may just fall off into a bin. So the flexibility here is very wide and deep. The machine has a line of symmetry in both X and Y about the center of the machine. So the controls can be mounted left hand, right hand. basically this machine can be assembled in any way. It's easily reconfigured in the field, should that need to be changed in the field. If you had this up against a wall and you wanted the controls on this side, that's all reconfigurable with simple hand tools. Anybody who's adept at all mechanically can reconfigure this machine. So one of the key pieces of technology in the eFlex is our drive system for the ball chain, and we call this drive the Nona drive, and it's a prismatic, and you can probably guess by the name, it has 9 sides. So each of these planes interfaces with a length of the chain, and what we achieve there is a fully synchronous interface between the chain and the drive. So why is that important? That's important because when we tell the drive go a certain speed, we know the chain is traveling at that speed. This drive can also, you can see I'm driving the underside of the chain. Normally you would have sprocket engagement, sprocket teeth engaging in these pockets. Nona drive can drive synchronously without a tooth. It can also back drive synchronously without a tooth. So in situations where you might want to center drive, you can back drive that without a tooth as well. So it's very, very flexible. This is one of the original prototypes. This is a sales demo. The drive was first tested in low friction ABS. This is just an ABS model. It's made of sleeves. This drive, even without the friction coating that we actually use to get rid of the sound and the wear, even this without the urethane coating, this drive was proven to move 75 pounds from a dead standstill. So it's just some of the early prototyping. Now the actual drive utilizes a urethane coating. We use a urethane coating not for the friction, but to lessen the noise and improve the wear, and this material wears exceptionally well. So again, it's the same, it's just this is the production, this is the prototype, but you still see the same planar surfaces. And then we use these dimples, if you will, for a means to clear the spheres of the ball chain. So that Nona drive can operate any ball chain. The two I have here are kind of the original ball chains. This is the BTV8 from Tsubaki. This is the Amaral Uni QNB ball chain. This comes from Japan. This comes from Denmark. So the Nona drive will work on basically any manufacturer's chains that are built to these protocols. Now these chains assemble differently from one another to themselves, but the Nona drive will drive either one of those synchronously. I mentioned about holding position. One important thing also is when you go to stop, right, that we don't get an overdrive, we don't get the chain trying to skip over or slide past the drive when we go to decel, right? We can decel this and the chain will stay in lockstep. So if we tell the chain we want the chain to move 100 feet a minute, the chain moves 100 feet a minute, there's no slip. Right? Slip on a device like this ends up looking more like a cog than a slip. So then the confines and the power, this is fully synchronous drive. Okay, so moving on to the fabric belt, we have a machine that's in construction right now. We've left the ball chain off so we can show some of those features that we're highlighting here today. So the fabric belt is an important part of this machine. It's really the Achilles heel of this type of a machine. So robustness of the fabric belt drive, tensioner, the flatness of the fabric belt, substrate, whatever's under the fabric belt to hold it flat, it's exceptionally important to the function of this machine. So we start back up. What we have is an exceptionally flat belt substrate. And how do we achieve that? What is the starting point of that? We start with a piece of 3/4 inch, this is 3/4 inch finished grade Baltic birch plywood. It's 13 layers, and you can see just how flat that is. So atop of that, we connect a piece of static dissipative UHMW poly. So that helps dissipate static. That's tethered with ground straps to the main frame. And then in addition, the end of this the end of this transition guide has been engineered to present the chain to the Nona drive and take it away from the idler, which is also the nonagon shape. And if you look very carefully at this, you can see these ball ramps are at a steeper rate of decline than the ramp of the upper portion of this guide. So this guide is one piece from the front to the back of the machine. It's doing multiple jobs. The point with this is we're controlling the link. So if the flow were this way, with the chain coming off, if this were the idler and the chain coming off, we're controlling the link before the ball is landed on the deck. And then the ball is transitioned onto the fabric belt here. And this works in equal but opposite at the other end. So in that way, we minimize the chain noise. This is also engineered to minimize the effects of chordal action of coming off of the drive, because anytime you have a link like this can't flex. You get what's called chordal action. So this has been strategically designed to minimize the chordal action and to minimize the chain wear. So that fabric belt has to be robust. It has to be on a flat substrate or the machine won't work properly. It also has to be durable. If somebody were to walk on the machine, we don't want that to be damaged. We don't want it to get damaged in shipping. We don't utilize steel here. Steel is a great material, but the reason we don't utilize that here is every piece of steel has camber, and that camber gets worse when the installer walks on the machine or the machine got dropped, right? So atop of that polymer guide, we have the fabric belt, or synthetic belt if you will. This is a urethane 2-ply belt. It's urethane, has a low friction back and a high friction urethane coating. We call these TPU. These wear very, very well. It's a very durable belt, and it has great lateral stability. So we don't have to worry about this getting wrinkled or getting loose. One of the other key features of the machine is in the fabric belt tensioning system, which is fully automatic. So we're using a very simple gas spring design, right? And this is an active tensioner. So you go, you assemble, you assemble the belt onto the machine, you put the roller drive and the roller idler in, and the idler floats, right? And this way we control the tension, but the idler floats, right? So this is fully dynamic. So there's no break-in, there's no retensioning after the belt breaks in. It's fully automatic, and that maintains the tension of the belt very effectively. And the beauty of this design is these are very inexpensive component parts, but when kitted together, it makes for a very robust belt transfer system. Okay, so talked a little bit more about the modularity of the machine. Mentioned the drives. This is a fabric belt drive. This drive happens to be dual. This has 2 motors and gearboxes inside the tube. And The benefit here is this wouldn't always be required, but the point is, if you needed to move heavier packages, or if your divert rate was very, very, very high, and I shouldn't even say the divert rate, but the number of diverts per unit time. The more diverts per unit time, the more work the motor has to do in a period of time. So if we can share that load, that takes a lot of stress off of each motor, and the motor temperatures drop dramatically. And the beauty of the machine is, say it was ordered with a single drive, it is field reconfigurable to dual drive, and both either the Nona or the fabric belt drive can be reconfigured in the field with simple hand tools. Of course, you'd need additional motor driver card to facilitate that, but once that's completed, we then have a machine that can handle effectively twice the weight, and or minimize the motor temperatures by sharing that load, specifically on that diverter belt drive. That drive has to work a little bit harder. Each machine, when it leaves, is serialized. We have serial number tag, so we keep records on each machine with how it's built, which hand, what it has motor-wise, serial numbers, all of that records are kept, so that we know if that machine needs to be reconfigured or it's sold to someone else in the field at a later date. We know when it left and what was in it. So in closing, the machine's available. This machine is actually a sold machine that's headed to a customer. It will be leaving here this week. This is serial number 9. This is one of many sizes. Obviously, you can make the machine in different sizes. The color is whatever customer chooses. This customer chose black. This is actually the first black unit we built, but that aside, machine is modular, easily reconfigurable. It can handle a wide range of products, safe, energy efficient, quiet, and we've also worked incredibly hard to keep this at a fair and equitable price for the componentry in the machine. So we're able to really offer what we feel is an excellent quality product at an exceptional price, a good price point for the technology that's in the machine. You can learn more about the machine, or you can reach us by going to the website. It's motoveyo.com, motoveyo.com.